after your work on Whiplash, I mean, was it literally a case where Damien said to you, I've got this role in this new movie, you just went, yeah, I'll sign up for that?
No, he didn't have a role. He was like, God, I wish there was something for you to do in this movie. It was kind of not really, but I want you to show up and, hang out and do a little something anyway. So.
And how quickly do you get a sense that you're sitting on something really special? Because both of these two films are just remarkable.
Well, and they're remarkable. One of the things that I find most remarkable is how different they are from each other. I mean, if somebody comes up with a great piece of cinema like Whiplash, and then to come up with something completely different and equally wonderful is a real testament to Damien's talent and vision.
Now that you watched The Worlds Apart after with audience almost 4 months ago, how does it feel working, in this project? How did it feel?
It was great. It was fun, and then Damien sort of gave us a long leash, and Ryan and I ran away with it to a terrifying extent.
What makes a great story? You've been in so many.
Yeah, it's about people. It has humanity. It has humor. It has, it's just real. Pulls on your heartstrings. I mean, in this case, I was grinning, ear to ear watching the movie the whole time, and then went, and then you kind of, there are other layers going on too.
If you could go back in time and give yourself advice before you entered this industry, what's the advice you'd give your younger self? You know what?
I'm going to steal this from Mark Ruffalo because we were asked that question, and his advice was so good. He said, I would just tell my younger self, it'll be okay. You'll be all right.
That's a hashtag there.
Yeah.
What do you love the most about the story?
The story. It melds the contemporary with the sort of homage aspects of the 30s and 40s musicals just brilliantly. I mean, it's La La Land, and there are a lot of ways that you can interpret the title, and I think Damien sort of fully realizes every aspect of it.
JK, when you were a young actor and you first moved to LA, what was your experience like in the city?
I wasn't a young actor when I moved to LA. I was a young actor when I moved to Seattle, and then when I moved to New York, by the time I came to LA, I was I was kind of a been there, done that actor. So I never had the LA 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 Land stars in my eyes.
What attracted you to this movie at first? Was it the story, the music, or just Damien?
Yeah, just Damien, really. I mean, he said he was, doing this and asked me if I'd be a little part of it, and I said yes. And then, the script is wonderful. And the music by Damien's college roommate, Justin Hurwitz, who also did some of the music for Whiplash, is awesome. It's really Ryan and Emma, the triple threat that they both bring to the screen. It's really a beautiful movie.
Out of 10, how would you rate Ryan Gosling and Emma's performance in the movie?
Well, you got to give them a 10. I mean, probably a 30 because they're triple threats. So singing, dancing, acting, I give them a 30.
Did you find Ryan Gosling particularly acted Canadian while he was?
He was very Canadian. He was polite, and he said "a boot" and sorry, and he was great. And as is almost always the case when I'm just getting to know somebody that I haven't worked with before. And I caught Ryan at a good time. I mean, there's basically two things, because I get tired of talking about show business. So we either talk about sports or kids or both. And, he was a relatively new dad when we were shooting. Now he's a double dad now, so that's always the thing that we kind of, find common ground and click on.
Was the music hard for you to learn? Do you yourself get much music in this?
No, I do not get much music, although I did have to kind of sort of put one foot in front of the other very briefly. Fortunately, almost none of that ends up in the movie. So, as was the case when I was doing Broadway, I was always very good with the singing and the acting and the learning the music. The putting one foot in front of the other, I was not quite as good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey